Hey everyone and welcome back to Final Fantasy XIV, where today it is time for our Leatherworker episode to start off Heavensward. Alright, as we begin, we're going to do our minion roulette to see who we get today. It's a Dust Bunny, hello there! Alright, let's get started. I've got my crafting info up, so we are good to go. Let's talk to Jiva. Hello there! Jiva has a task that demands your attention. Alright then. Satora, good. Something has happened recently that has not happened in a long time. An order has come from Ishgard. A merchant named Eld has requested a selection of Feniel's finest goods. I've seen to it personally that she will get our best. I want you to deliver the guild samples to her at the Jeweled Crozier, but only because I can trust the important part of this task to you and you alone. If I know anything of merchants, this is a prelude to a substantial order. The guild will not take it. Our production puts the balance of the 12s in enough peril as it is. There, I believe you can turn her down without offering offense. And if she is insistent, you have learned how to say no from me. In any case, I trust I won't be hearing more about the matter. Okay, understandable. I highly respect somebody who runs a business and understands, like, hey, sure, we could get more business, but that would be bad for the environment. So we're not going to destroy the environment in favor of profits. Highly respect that. Wish anybody in real life had that attitude. Jiva, you may have been an absolute asshole in general in the Realm Reborn, but I at the very least respect your basic ideals. Alright, Jeweled Crozier, we can just return back to Ishgard. What am I doing going to the Aetheryte? Alright, let's go make a delivery. Alright then, where are you, Eld? Not sure how I feel about wearing shorts and a skirt in Ishgardian weather, but you know what, it's fine. We'll be crafting better gear, more appropriate for the weather soon enough, I'm sure. Hello, Eld. Welcome to Eld's House of Excellence. Our signboard is newly hung, but I promise you'll find no finer leatherworker in all of Ishgard. I've got some samples for you. Oh, the guild representative. I beg your pardon, miss. I did not expect you so soon. If you will allow me to look at your samples. Goodness, Feniel's finery puts my best to shame. These will sell splendidly. Please, deliver your guildmaster my compliments, and in order for 1,000 circles of leather. Oh dear, yeah, no, that's not gonna happen. Apologies, but that's just way more than we can take rationally from the 12s wood. You can't? No, you have the right of it. I should have known filling such a large purchase would mean a great loss of life in the Black Shroud. I'm very new to this, honestly. Could you help me? Oh, excuse me, that was rather forward. It's just your hands. They're the hands of a true artisan. Callous but strong. Deft. I'm a poor leather worker myself, and I could use an experienced advisor, someone who can give me a fresh perspective. And we are all in dire need of a fresh perspective. But I should let you draw your own conclusions, shouldn't I? Please, go and speak with the shopkeepers around here as a customer. I'm certain you'll see what I'm getting at. Okay. I'm willing to help. Maybe I could convey some of Jiva's teachings onto the people around here? Sure. Oh, my dear miss, what house do you serve? Oh, I see you shopping for yourself, eh? Well, my wares are most reasonably priced. In fact, I take great pride in delivering the cheapest of goods to the lowborn. I will not be undersold. Okay. You strike me as someone who's probably going to be selling very, very low quality goods. Things that will not last very long. Things which were probably made in a rush and with little respect for the leather, honestly. A warm welcome to you, miss. Please feel free to visit our many, many shops. From highborn lords to working commoners, we strive to accommodate everyone's needs. But one word about the cheaper merchandise. If it seems too good to be true, it most likely is. That's about the vibe I got. Alright, how about you, Gerhardt? If you must go shopping, kindly do so in the broom, sir. Oh dear. What? Must I repeat myself again and again? I do not have anything to sell to the likes of you. Do you understand? You do not have the guild to buy what I have to offer. I have wasted far too much time explaining myself. I have an appointment with the Count de Durandere. Good day, miss. All I wanted was to give me daughter a nice dress for her name day. I've even got the bloody gill. Why can't the poor get nothing nice, even if we've got the coin to buy? Okay, so yeah, I'm seeing the issues here. We've got a mix of scams that were made probably in a rush with disrespect for the leather it was made from, which probably will not last very long, and very arrogant assholes who just refuse to sell to anyone poor. Yeah, there's definitely a few issues here at Ishgard, on kind of like opposing ends of the scale, honestly, which is really concerning. Pardon me, madam. Which of these is best? I need a present to charm my wife, and I can't choose between all seems to be splendid bags. Thank you for saying so, sir, but if you aren't in a hurry, we're scheduled to get a shipment far finer than these soon. Finer, eh? Well, only the best for my bride. Could you hold your favorite for me under the name Hortefeuille? Oh dear, I'm so sorry about that one. Ah, how did you find the shopkeepers? Something in their attitude struck you as amiss, yes? Yes, the merchants are concerned only with the coin of nobles and pay little heed to any need of the lowborn that is not low price. The artisans aren't much better. Those that fail to please the high houses are overwhelmed with orders. They slap something shoddy together and sell it to the commoners. As a result, it's difficult for many Ishgardians to find anything but the worst of goods. But why, I ask you? Is a commoner's coin lesser than a lord's? Shouldn't merchants offer high-quality products for everyone? I believe we should. We all deserve well-made goods that are within our budgets. So I opened the shop for all Ishgard from the hop-on to the broom. Not everyone shares my belief, but if you see the value in my ideas, I'd love to have your expert advice. I do hope we meet again, my friend. You know what? I like you a lot. I am more than happy to help with this. But level 53 will be in a little bit. Pacing these out as usual. Alright, let's get started on our crafting log for today. Alright, starting with the crystals we're going to need for today, we're going to need 57 wind shards, 5 lightning shards, and 9 water shards. Then we'll be needing 57 fire crystals, 111 wind crystals, 287 earth crystals, and 42 lightning crystals. After that, we have the timed gathering. From Eastern Thanlin, we have timed mining for 18 gold ore. And in Kurth's Western Highlands, we have timed botany for 65 Kurthan tea leaves. Next up, going area by area to grab the remaining materials from our regular gathering. Let's start from Upper Lenosha, where we're going to want to mine up 12 Electrum ore. Anything else in Lenosha? Not that I'm seeing. So next up in Central Thanlin, we can mine up 6 copper ore. Next after that would be Northern Thanlin, where we can mine up 6 basilisk eggs. Southern Thanlin is next, where we can mine up 13 mithril ore. Moving on to the Shroud, in the South Shroud we can use botany for 2 wildfowl feathers and 2 chocobo feathers. We can also mine for 3 silver ore. Next up in the Central Shroud, we can use botany for 9 latex and 44 cotton wool. In the North Shroud, we can fight Bane Mites for 10 Diorite web. In Kurth's Central Highlands, we can mine for 2 jade. In Kurth's Western Highlands, we can go fishing over at Greytail Falls for 2 cloud coral. We can use our botany for 66 rainbow cotton wool. Next on the list, we can use mining also in Kurth's Western Highlands for 65 mithrite sand and 24 mithrite ore. And then, the part of Leatherworker that I hate the most, because it's just not very well balanced, and that's probably like part of the point, especially given the Leatherworker quest, but I really don't like fighting enemies for their skins. The RNG on it is not kind. We need to fight Archaeornis on the southern shores of the frozen lake just outside of Dusk Vigil for 159 Archaeornis skin. Yeah, that's a lot. It will take a bit. Next up, in the Dravanian Forelands, we can go mining for 18 raw agates, and fight wyverns in the southwestern corners of the region for 36 wyvern skins. Alright, that should be all the gathering, so after that we can do our pre-crafting. As a blacksmith, armor, or goldsmith, we can make 13 mithrite nuggets, then 6 mithrite ingots. As a goldsmith, we can make 1 silver ingot, 6 basilisk whetstones, 2 jadeites, 3 electrum ingots, 6 rose gold nuggets, 6 agate, which is a level 51 recipe. Then as leatherworker, we can make 53 Archaeornis leather, which is a level 51 recipe. Then 12 wyvern leather, which is a level 52 recipe. Then as weaver, we can make 10 dew thread from 5 crafts, 22 crafts of rainbow thread for 44 total, which is a level 51 recipe. Then 10 crafts of rainbow cloth, which is a level 51 recipe. Finally, as alchemist, we can make 9 rubber. And that should be enough pre-crafting to make every single level 51 and 52 recipe as leatherworker, as well as a little bit left over for what are known as collectibles, which we'll get to in just a moment once we are done with this. Alright, finished up crafting everything at level 51 and 52. All of the combat gear is going to be actually a downgrade, though we did get one. Ooh, we got 1 piece of glamour gear. How does that look? It's just a nice little hat we can wear. I'll be sure to put that into my glamour dresser. Alright, but yeah, all the combat gear is going to be downgrades. It's item level 125 at best, and we have item level 130 right now. Technically, the ability to meld materia onto it could make it more useful than the item level 130 gear we have for combat, but item level 125 is necessarily going to come with lower primary stats, vitality and intelligence and dexterity and strength and all that. And those primary stats are going to be more important than whatever we could meld, so the combat gear is going to be going into leave quests or being desynthesized for decent levels. That said, the crafting and gathering gear, I want to say, is actually an upgrade. We made item level 65, and with the exception of the headpiece, all of our current crafting gear is item level 60, and all of our gathering gear, again, item level 60, except for the headpiece. So we've got a whole bunch of upgrades just now. Let's go ahead and stick these into our armory chest, and then I'll figure out how I want to meld them. We're fine. We are perfectly fine on stats for crafting and gathering right now. Everything is nice and maxed out. Well, at least for gathering, the improvements to our gathering and perception stats will not actually improve anything. They won't, like, make any of the numbers get bigger for higher chances of getting rewards. At least not in any significant way. So there's not really a need to increase any of those. I guess probably going to focus primarily on our crafting points and gathering points. But I will let you know exactly how I decided to meld it once I'm done with that. Alright, I am back. I'm in Gridania. Don't ask why. That was to access this shop. We'll get into the shop in a minute. And I finished off my melding. Ooh, looks quite a bit different. Honestly, looks a lot more appropriate for Ishgardian weather. Happy with that. The vibes are very good on the outfit. The materia, I was not able to get complete upgrades in terms of each individual stat on every single piece of equipment. Some things I had to do trade-offs, which I wasn't exactly happy with. On the Gatherer clothing, I was able to get about half of the clothing up to maximum melds. So that's nice, but 2 of the pieces of equipment for Gatherer, I did have to make some compromises. It's fine. I'll go ahead and scroll through my melds one at a time. On the body piece, overall, my craftsmanship stat went down by 2, control went up by 7, and CP stayed the same. For the gloves, my craftsmanship went up by 1, control went up by 4, and CP went down by 1. For legs, craftsmanship went down by 2, but control went up by 4, and CP stayed the same. And for the shoes, my craftsmanship went down by 2, control went up by 4, CP stayed the same. Overall, let's see, my craftsmanship went down by 5, my control went up by 7, 11, 15, 19. Control went up by 19 to craftsmanship going down by 5 and CP going down by 1. So control is a lot more balanced with craftsmanship now. My goal is to keep craftsmanship and control stats about equal because I don't know how else I want to balance this. I know I have written down the details of how all the internal calculations work on how craftsmanship and control affect your ability to actually craft things, but like our stats are so high that it doesn't matter right now, so might as well keep them about balanced. Next up, going down to the gatherers, I got my gathering and perception almost exactly equal. Also, again, very good vibes on this outfit. I might dye it, but it looks good. Going through these one at a time, on the body piece, let's see, my gathering went up by 6, my perception went up by 4, and my GP stayed the same. On the gloves, my gathering went up by 5, everything else stayed the same. On the legs, gathering went up by 4, perception went up by 1, and GP stayed the same. And on the shoes, gathering stayed the same, perception went up by 3, and GP went up by 1. So I had much better luck with the gatherers. Everything was a strict upgrade. Overall, let's see, gathering went up by 11, 15. Yeah, gathering went up by 15, perception went up by 4, 5, 8 total, and GP went up by 1. Nice. Let's see. And then you can see from the fact that there's only 4 melds on hands and legs that these two were I was able to get their max stats. So yeah, I'm pretty happy with how that went. Obviously, there'll be more and better gear in the future as we get to higher levels and more crafting, but for now, I'm pretty happy with this balance. Yeah, I can't think of anything I would want to go back and change overly. Also went up by 2 item levels on everything. So everything's item level 65, Fisher's 59. Okay, last thing we are doing for today is going over something called collectibles. What are collectibles? Collectibles are a thing that was added in Heavensward, which are effectively high-end crafting gathering. Basically, how this works is you make these collectible items, which you can't really use for anything but anything except for trading into collectible appraisers. And how specifically these work is, you craft like normal, but there is an extra emphasis on getting that quality as high as you can. Because you'll see there is something called the collectability stat, and your collectability is equal to the quality divided by 10 and rounded down. The higher that collectability, the better the rewards we get for this collectible. The only thing we can use this collectible for is trading it in for goods. So, I'm gonna run my macro through, craft this rarefied Archaeo skin belt. Ooh, that's a remnant of a previous time. I gotta play with belts for a few months. I started playing back in 5.4 when belts still existed. Those were removed with Endwalker. But yeah, let's go ahead and get these crafted, get our collectibles crafted, and then we'll actually go ahead and trade them in. Every major city has a collectible appraiser, and by trading in collectibles to them, we will get the specific unique reward that only really comes from collectibles. Alright, now that that is done, collectible appraiser, let's go ahead and trade in our 2 rarefied items. For getting maximum collectability, we get 54 purple script, which is the currency that you get for, script is the currency you get for doing collectible stuff. And with that purple script, we can then go to a script exchange. And there's a whole bunch of rewards we can buy from these, including better gear, which I'm not going to worry about, because I prefer to craft my own gear. Master recipes from Heavensward on will come from script. We can also get various miscellaneous materials. These experience manuals, which will give us a ton of extra experience for a limited time, 18 hours to use up the entire manual. I'm trying to save up for these glasses right here. We'll get to those pretty soon. And we'll get into what these two are for later. And there's also a whole bunch of exclusive, well, some of these are exclusive, some of these are not, but a bunch of crafting materials available for script. Script gives access to a whole bunch of things that crafters and gatherers really enjoy having, so it's very much worth doing. Script is effectively the equivalent of your tomestones of poetics, or tomestones of mathematics, or whatever the current tomestones are for combat jobs. And then also script will give you access to materia, which I actually spent a little bit of my script to get some materia to help with my melds. But yeah, we've got access to up to grade 5 materia here, but grade 5 requires us to have item level 160 gear, so we're not going to be getting to that for a while. But we will get to that grade 5 materia in due time. Alright, that's just a really brief rundown of script and collectibles. You craft collectibles, which require high quality to get good rewards, and you trade in the collectibles for script, and then you can trade the script for various goodies. There'll be more and more goodies that unlock from the script exchange as we progress further, but for now, that's what we have access to. Alright, then with that, next time on Final Fantasy XIV, what are we doing next, now that we have finished up with our leatherworking? Next up, looks like we're getting back to the main story briefly, and then the rest of this week we will be continuing to work on our crafting. Alright, I'll see everyone next time for that.